Can you hear me, no?
Yes.
We can hear you very well. My suggestion for everyone is that once you're not talking, put your mic on mute. Put it on only when you talk.
It's such a wonderful honor and joy to welcome you all to this very special International Yoga Day event, and especially to have with us our Honorable Minister, Shri Prahlad Singh Patelji, the Minister of State for Culture and Tourism, Government of India. To begin this very special event, we have our beloved Shivamaniji, who will
Namaste.
start us with some divine music. We will have the beautiful opportunity to hear more from our beloved Shivamaniji and our divine Runa ji later in the program. But now, it wouldn't be an official event if we didn't begin by lighting a lamp. So unfortunately, we don't have all of you on our sides, touching us, lighting the lamp together. But just know that you are with us in heart, in spirit, together in yoga, as we light the official lamp to begin this event.
Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvikhnam Kuru me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Shubham Karoti Kalyanam Kalyanam Arogyam Dhan.
It's so beautiful here on the banks of Mother Ganga, in the lap of the Himalayas, in Pujya Swamiji's divine presence, to welcome our Honorable Minister, Shri Prahlad Singh Patelji, and all of our Yogacharyas of our International Yoga Festival family, to this very, very special and beautiful panel on International Yoga Day. It's amazing because without COVID, we would all be somewhere else in the world, some other event, doing something, engaged in some other program, and we wouldn't be together. So COVID actually has brought us all together. It's given us the opportunity to be together for International Yoga Day. And yeah, COVID is an emergency, a global emergency. But as we've been saying, it's also a beautiful opportunity to emerge and see, to emerge and see, to emerge out of the darkness, the ignorance, the separation, and to see the light, the truth, the oneness, the connection. And it's so beautiful also to have this theme given to us of Namaste Yoga, community, unity, and immunity. Namaste Yoga. Yoga is Namaste. Namaste means the divine in me bows to the divine in you. That is yoga. Namaste is yoga. It means I recognize that divine union within myself, the union of myself to the divine. That's literally what the word namaste means. We use it as just a greeting, namaste, namaste, but literally it means the divine in me bows to the divine in you, which means that first I have to recognize, experience, realize, live as the divine in me. And then I see, I recognize, I experience the divine in you. And so through my experience of yoga, through my experience of oneness and unity with the divine, I recognize my experience of oneness with you. Hence, yoga. It's not just a greeting. It is really the experience of yoga. And through that unity, we actually increase not only our community, but actually our immunity. We know through so much research, through immunology, through medicine, through psychoneuroimmunology, that what we think, how we feel, how connected we are within ourselves to others, to the divine in others, it actually increases not just our happiness, not just our peace, which we know, but it actually increases our physical immunity. So unity and community and immunity. It's important, though, to realize that yoga is not just a hashtag. Unity is not just a hashtag. It's an experience. It's a knowing. And from that knowing, it is a way of living. From Gyan Yoga, from wisdom, from knowledge, comes Karma Yoga, action, rooted in Bhakti Yoga, love, and devotion. So out of that knowledge of yoga, out of that experience, that wisdom, that knowing of our oneness, comes love and comes action, rooted in knowing, rooted in love. And this is what is so essential today, is to really root ourselves in the knowing, in the experience, in the wisdom, in the oneness, in the love, and then to have that translate into the action. As we awaken, as we realize, as we experience, we act differently. Awareness is not in a vacuum. Yoga, as the knowing, as the union, is not just about my experience sitting in my cave. It's about my experience that transforms who I am as I move through the world. And that is what we will be talking about this evening. It's also on a deeper level what we are so committed to here at Parmarth Niketan, in our International Yoga Festival, and in all of what we do, is giving the experience of yoga so that we know the truth of who we are. And then how we move through the world changes. We don't just memorize the yamas and the niyamas. They become who we are and how we live. It's so beautiful to see the way that the government of India, under the beautiful leadership of our Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, has taken yoga from being a science and art from here in the Himalayas, from the sages and the saints and the rishis, and has actually made it something in the United Nations, now being practiced in every consulate, not just on every corner, but in every consulate all over the world, has taken it, as Pujya Swamiji said when we were graced by Modi ji's virtual presence at our yoga festival, that he's actually brought it from the United Nations into the united creation. Lastly, today is also World Refugee Day. And I mentioned that very quickly in closing, because when we speak about living yoga and oneness and union, it is essential that we remember to leave no one behind. No one should be a refugee here on planet Earth. It is our home. And so as we come together in World Yoga Day, World Day of Union, let us make sure that our union, our oneness, includes all of our sisters and brothers all across the world, in every situation, and even of every species. It's a beautiful honor and blessing to request His Holiness Pujya Swami Chidanand Saraswatiji, the president of Parmarth Niketan Ashram, the inspiration behind our International Yoga Festival, and all of the activities that take place here that are truly yoga in action, to ask him to share with us words of blessings and inspiration at this beautiful time. Pujya Swamiji.
Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Om Shanti. 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 Namaste yoga lovers. My salutations to all the rishis and sages and yoga masters of the great tradition of yoga. My salutations to this sacred land, the birthplace of yoga. I also express deep appreciation and gratitude to our Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, a man of great vision, a man of mission, dedication, and leadership, who has brought the concept of International Day of Yoga. During his first visit to the United Nations as the Prime Minister of India, he brought with him the message of yoga. More than 177 countries passed this historic resolution unanimously, bringing yoga across the world like never before. Today, in this time of pandemic, we celebrate yoga at home and with our families. But for yogis, the planet is their home, the world is their family. So today, we bring our global family together from our homes with the digital yoga in this special and diverse panel. It is so wonderful that our Honorable Minister has spared time for his busy schedule to be with us today. Our Honorable Culture and Tourism Minister, who is working to bring the culture of yoga into every field of our lives. He is serving to spread and share the great heritage of India, which has always been for the welfare of all. Through his humble and noble examples. Amazing man. Amazing man. He is a living yoga. He is giving his time for this culture and make a tourism a green tourism. I welcome him on this occasion. And I welcome all of our divine yoga teachers who have brought the transformation and the touch of yoga to the masses through their classes. Last but not the least, my love to our beloved Sivamani, a great artist who not only makes the music, but is music, and dearest Runa, a soulful singer. Thank you for sharing the sacred music and rhythm of yoga with us this evening. Yoga literally means union, not just the union of our nose to our knees, but of the Jivatma to the Parmatma, the small self to the universal consciousness. Yoga is the solution to all that ails the world. A yogic lifestyle is the only answer and is the key to our stable, sustainable, and secure future. Yoga allows us to be healthy in the body, peaceful in the mind, and connected with the spirit. Yoga is the best medication for all agitations. Yoga keeps us anchored, centered, and grounded. Even when things are not okay, it keeps us okay Even things go up and down, but we don't go up and down. That is the power of yoga. My dear yoga practitioners and teachers, you have felt the power of yoga and shared this power to the world, that yoga is not what you do, it is who you are. Yoga is not only on the mat, but off the mat. Yoga teaches us not just to have more and hold more. Yoga teaches us to share more, care more, and be more. Yoga is a great stress buster. And especially today, when we are going through this COVID-19 period, yoga is a stress buster and immunity booster. To me, yoga is like a direct toll-free number to the divine. It helps us respond to every situation, not with panic, but with patience and precaution, with love and compassion. This time of the solstice and International Yoga Day is a very, very special time. The solstice means the day that the sun rises the earliest and it sets the last. But this Bada Din allows us to cultivate a Bada Dil. Bada Din, Bada Dil. The sun is telling us, hey, get up. Hey, wake up. Hey, come on, open your eyes. जिंदगी केवल न जीने का बहाना, जिंदगी केवल न जीने का बहाना, जिंदगी केवल न सांसों का खजाना, जिंदगी सिंदूर है पूरब दिशा का, जिंदगी का काम है सूरज उगाना, जिंदगी का काम है सूरज उगाना. Let us be the light and bring the light of hope, light of healing and happiness and harmony, the light of love and peace. It is no coincidence that Yoga Day and World Music Day are on the same day. This is what is needed today. The music of harmony, oneness, and togetherness. Now I'll say few words in Hindi, because so many people are listening in our nation also and all over the world. आज अंतर्राष्ट्रीय योग दिवस और साथ ही साथ भारत के यशस्वी, तपस्वी और ऊर्जावान प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी, ये दोनों बिल्कुल साथ साथ जाते हैं. ये उन्हीं का ही संकल्प है जिसे पूरे विश्व ने अपनाया, गले लगाया और आज पूरा विश्व योगमय हो गया. वर्तमान समय में पूरा विश्व कोरोना वायरस की चपेट में है. नो वन इज स्पेयर्ड. इस समय everyone is looking for solutions. Vaccine is not there. So where to go? Where to find solace and peace? इस समय स्वस्थ और सुखी रहने का मंत्र है योग, ध्यान और प्राणायाम. योगा फॉर हेल्थ, योगा एट होम एंड योगा फॉर ऑल. घर घर योगा, हर घर योगा, हर घट योगा, हर घाट पे योगा. ऐसा हो सकता है? योग सदाबहार है, योग रामबाण है, योग संजीवनी बूटी है. योग से तन स्वस्थ और मन मस्त और स्थिर हो जाता है. इस कोरोना काल में शरीर में रोग प्रतिरोधक क्षमता, इम्यूनिटी को बढ़ाने के लिए योग पावर बूस्टर का काम करता है और योग इम्यूनिटी इज द बूस्टर. योग बाहर और भीतर दोनों तरह के वायरस से लड़ने की क्षमता रखता है. योग तन की थकान, चेहरे पे मुस्कान और मन के तनाव को भी दूर करता है. इसलिए मैं कहता हूं योग करें, रोज करें और मौज करें. जीवन व्यस्त रहते हुए स्वस्थ रहे, मस्त रहे, बस यही तो चाहिए. तो आइए करें योग और रहें निरोग. धन्यवाद.
Pranam, Puja Swamiji, and thank you for those beautiful words of inspiration. Just before we hear from our Honorable Minister, we have a very quick promo for International Yoga Festival for 2021, but made up, of course, of all of the beautiful shots of 2020 where you all were with us. And so we'll just play that for a moment, give everyone darshan of the beautiful festival, and then we will hear from our Honorable Minister. I think the minister. So in the meantime, that they get the tech working for the promo, it's a wonderful honor to request our Honorable Minister of Culture and Tourism. As Puja Swamiji said, truly a man with such great vision and great commitment to sharing the culture of India with people from all across the world, not just the buildings and monuments, but actually that Sanskriti, that divine touch that actually transforms the mind and the heart and the life of everyone who comes to India, truly giving them the experience of this divine culture. So it's a beautiful honor to request Shri Prahlad Singh Patelji to please share with us on this beautiful occasion. Can you unmute yourself?
Sadhviji, tell him to unmute. And the administrator, whoever the administrator, can unmute as well.
Shri Prahlad Singh Patelji, हमारा tech team is saying कि अगर आपकी ओर से अनम्यूट हो सकते कि हमारे ओर से एकदम अनम्यूट हो गया, अगर आपकी ओर से हो सकते तो फिर हम आपको सुन सकेंगे.
महाराज जी वहां से आवाज सुना पड़ रही है क्या? महाराज जी वहां से आवाज सुना पड़ रही है? इको आ रहा है। मैं विश्व की पूर्व संध्या पर पूज्यपाद स्वामी चिदानंद जी के चरणों में प्रणाम करता हूँ। परमार्थ निकेतन के इस कार्यक्रम उपस्थित सभी साधकों को कार्यक्रम में साधकों को जी ने आवाहन किया है कि हम घर घर योगा, तट तट योगा, घट घट योगा के साथ निरोग रहकर रोग को पास ही न आने दें। ये जो आवाहन किया है शायद ये समय की मांग है दुनिया के लिए। मैं सिर्फ इतना ही कहूंगा कि युक्ति से मुक्ति मिलती है, रिक्ति से मुक्ति नहीं मिलती। ऐसा मेरे आराध्य प्रभु शिवासी जी ने मुझसे कहा था। युक्तियां या तो हमें प्रारब्ध से प्राप्त होती हैं, या पूर्वजों की तपस्या से प्राप्त होती हैं, या पुरुषार्थ से प्राप्त होती हैं। और शायद जिस रिक्ति के कारण समाज अवसाद में जीने के लिए मजबूर होता है, उसकी भरपाई करने का काम अगर कोई कर सकता है, जैसा हमारा स्वामी जी ने किया था, वो योगा ही कर सकता है। जब अवसाद होता है तो व्यक्ति के पास धन संपदा सब कुछ होती है, वो दवा भी लेता है, वो नशा का प्रयोग भी कर लेता है, लेकिन अवसाद से मुक्त नहीं होता है। लेकिन अगर वो योग के रास्ते पर चले तो वह अवसाद से भी बाहर आएगा और समाज को भी शायद अवसाद से बाहर लाने का काम करेगा। अगर मैं सरल शब्दों में कहूं, अगर असाध्य को साध्य बनाने का काम कोई कर सकता है तो वो योगा कर सकता है। योगा की प्रैक्टिस करने वाले लोग कहते हैं, हम वर्तमान में रहकर भविष्य के बारे में सोचें, ना अतीत की चिंता करें, ना भविष्य के तनाव में जिए, बल्कि वर्तमान में जीकर सामर्थ्य इकट्ठा करके जो भी चुनौती हमारे सामने आए, हम भविष्य की पीढ़ियों को सुरक्षित देने के लिए सकारात्मक ऊर्जा प्राप्त करें और उस ऊर्जा के रास्ते पर चलकर हम दुनिया को शांति बांटें। ये भारतीय संस्कृति का मूल है। और मैं उस सतत और निरंतर चलने वाली व्यवस्था का दृढ़ता के साथ पालन करने वाला व्यक्ति हूं, क्योंकि मैं भारतीय संस्कृति में विश्वास करता हूं। जब मैं प्रारब्ध की बात करता हूं तो अतीत में जब हम किसी योग की धारणा के उसके रास्ते पर चलते हैं तो शरीर भले बदल जाए, लेकिन वो पथ नहीं बदलता। हम भविष्य के उस परोपकार के बारे में सोचते हैं कि हम अपने आने वाली पीढ़ी को जो हस्तांतरित करेंगे, वह निरंतरता योग की मूल ताकत है। भारतीय संस्कृति उसी निरंतरता का नाम है, इसलिए हम उसे सनातन कहते हैं। योग के इस मनोभाव के साथ मैं अपने आराध्य परम पूज्य श्री बाबा जी की एक और वाणी मुझे स्मरण में आती है। वो कहते हैं, मन के विचारों का मंथन करो, जो सकारात्मक विचार आए तो वो जिज्ञासा पैदा करेगी, और यदि उसमें आत्मा की दिव्य शक्ति जुड़ जाएगी तो आप जिज्ञासु हो जाएंगे। योगा इसी मार्ग पर चलाने का सामर्थ्य है, वही ऊर्जा है जो स्वामी चिदानंद जी ने हम सबको अंग्रेजी में और हिंदी में व्यक्त की है। मैं तो सिर्फ हिंदी का अधिकारी हूँ, उस नाते मैंने अपनी बात हिंदी में कही है। मैं पूज्यपाद स्वामी जी के चरणों में प्रणाम करते हुए विश्व योगा दिवस की पूर्व संध्या पर उनके द्वारा प्रायोजित, उनके द्वारा आयोजित इस दिव्य योग महोत्सव में शामिल होकर मैं अपने आप को धन्य मानता हूँ, और मैं विश्वास करता हूँ कि आप तो सतत उसी को जीते हैं। मैं तो संतों की वाणी ही कह सकता हूँ। परम पूज्य शिवासी ने कहा था, धर्म धारण के लिए है, उदाहरण के लिए नहीं। मेरे पास ना तो उदाहरण है, न मेरे पास शब्द है। आप जैसे ज्ञानियों के तप से जो प्राप्त करते हैं, उसे लेकर आगे वाली पीढ़ी को सौंपने के लिए जरूर हम तत्पर रहते हैं। भारतीय संस्कृति की ये सामर्थ्य, उसमें काम करने का अवसर आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने दिया है। वो निमित्त बने हैं दुनिया में योग का को मनवाने का। उनके प्रति अपना आभार व्यक्त करते हुए, स्वामी जी आपके प्रति कृतज्ञता व्यक्त करते हुए, और जो लोग मुझे सुन रहे थे उन सबको भविष्य की शुभकामनाएं देते हुए मैं अपनी वाणी को यहाँ पर रोकता हूँ। आपको फिर से प्रणाम। भारत माता की जय। नमस्ते योगा। महाराज जी के हमको म्यूट करो ना सर, उनकी आवाज।
We can't hear Swamiji.
Yeah, we can't hear. Swamiji, beloved, we can't hear you.
Now you can hear me now?
Now we can hear you. We could hear you before. We heard you also with heart. Now we hear you also in ears. Yes.
Now you can hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Our Honorable Minister said so beautifully. He said, yoga gives us positivity. We'll send you whatever he has said in English also to every one of you. But the bottom line is how life can become a prasad. Even we are in the moment of avasad, means depression. But in the depression also, how the devotion can take birth. Dedication can take birth. And this is all comes through yoga. Yoga can give us all that what we need in our life. Today we are offering him this beautiful tulsi plant, because our tulsi tea person is there, organic tulsi tea person. We are going to offer our Honorable Minister this green tulsi, a beautiful tulsi, to celebrate ग्रीन टूरिज्म एंड ग्रीन तीर्थाटन माला। और हमारे पास मंत्री जी, ब्रिंग मंत्री जी, आपके लिए, ये आपके लिए दो प्यारी सी मालाएं, क्योंकि अब वर्चुअली देना पड़ेगा आपको, वैसे तो देना मुश्किल है, लेकिन आप इसी यहीं से वर्चुअली स्वीकार कर लीजिए। दोनों मालाएं आप देख रहे होंगे, प्यारी सी मालाएं, और आपने समय दिया हमको, बहुत 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 अच्छा लगा, बहुत बढ़िया लगा। और आरती होगी, आरती तक अब 2 मिनट में, 2 मिनट की आरती है। आप यहाँ पर आए थे, उस दिन की आरती आप देखिएगा, और फिर आज की गंगा आरती कैसे, उसमें लोग नहीं है वहां पर, लेकिन माँ गंगा है, मुस्करा रही है, उसको अब हम आपको दर्शन कराएंगे, माँ गंगा की आरती का। आपने समय निकाला, हमें बहुत अच्छा लगा, क्योंकि आज वर्ल्ड के अच्छे अच्छे योगाचार्यास यहाँ पर हैं, और हम लोग मिलकर इस पूरे योग के पथ को अनुसरण करते हुए पूरे विश्व में ले जाएं, बस इसी कामना के साथ गंगा मैया से प्रार्थना है। और अब हम सब मिलकर 2 मिनट की आरती है, सब मिलकर आरती करेंगे। आप आए, बहुत अच्छा लगा, बहुत प्यारा लगा।
We now have our sacred arti, which is the core and beautiful moment of coming together in oneness. So we thought, let us have a beautiful arti together during our International Yoga Day celebration before the Honorable Minister has to leave. And anyway, arti is our culture. Tulsi is our culture. Yoga is our culture. So it's been beautiful to have you with us, and we now join together for the sacred Ganga Arti.
मनवांछित फल पाता। ओम जय गंगे माता। चंद्र सी ज्योति तुम्हारी, जल निर्मल आता। मैया जल निर्मल आता। शरण पड़े जो तेरे, शरण पड़े जो तेरे, तो नर तर जाता। ओम जय गंगे माता। ही बार जो तेरी शरणागति आता। मैया शरण, मैया जय गंगे माता। जो नर तुमको ध्याता, जो नर मैया जी को ध्याता, मनवांछित फल पाता। ओम जय गंगे माता। चंद्र सी ज्योति तुम्हारी, जल निर्मल आता। मैया जल निर्मल आता। शरण पड़े जो तेरे, शरण पड़े जो तेरे, तो नर तर जाता। ओम जय गंगे माता।
Okay.
As Pujya Swamiji had spoken, that yoga is the answer to all. That which ails us, from personal depression, anxiety, addiction, suicides, that which ails us in our communities, in our world, that which ails us with the devastation on Mother Earth, with climate change, environmental destruction, that yoga is the answer. That union within ourselves, union with all of creation. So it's a beautiful shift as we offer our deepest and most respectful regards and gratitude to the Honorable Minister, who, as you can imagine, has so many other events and things this evening on the eve of International Yoga Day, but we are so grateful that he joined us. And we take this theme into our Yogacharyas from around the world. Each of you with a different area of experience and expertise, each of you working in different ways, touching and transforming people in different ways, sharing and spreading yoga in different ways. We turn to you to share with all of our global audience across the world of every walk of life. How is yoga the answer? How is that experience and practice of yoga the answer? And there's so much we suffer from today. Where is the answer in yoga? And what does yoga as a system, as an awareness, as an experience, as a teaching, as an art, as a science, how does it move through us in wisdom, in knowledge, and in action? In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna explains very beautifully what a yogi looks like. What does it look like to move through the world in yoga? From all of you, in your fields, in your worlds, with your wisdom, with your experience, we want to dedicate tonight to that union, that oneness, that experience, that knowing, and that action in the world that is needed so badly today. So I will begin with my beautiful brother Anand Mehrotra here in Rishikesh, the founder of Sattva Yoga, the venue, the center, the style of yoga, the teaching, the lineage, the training, to share with us about yoga as the answer, yoga today, yoga as the way, whatever you and all of your individual and collective wisdom feel inspired to share. We are so happy to have you with us. Anandji.
Om. Respected Pujya Swamiji, Sadhviji, all our beloved teachers gathered here, and everyone all over the world who is plugged in this moment of unity. The Yoga Sutra begins with the invocation Ataha yoga anusashanam. And now is yoga. From our yogic point of view, yoga is not a technique of antiquity. It is relevant in the now. And as this Yoga Day very well validates that proclamation of the sage Patanjali, that irrespective of what location of space-time one finds oneself, the teachings, the practice, and the experience of yoga is supremely relevant. The great scripture of Bhagavad Gita is set in the battlefield. So no matter what the situation, no matter what the circumstance, even in the most challenging of the circumstances, the teaching of yoga are there to liberate and to elevate the human condition. The experience of life has two values, the experience of it and the knowing of it. All arise from chitta, pure consciousness. The base of all activity of human experience and the base of all experience is chitta, pure consciousness. And so yoga is the timeless tradition, timeless living technology of knowledge and systematic refinement of the consciousness of the human being. As the great saying in the Sanskrit teachings goes, Yatha Pinde Tatha Brahmande. As is the microcosm within the human being, so is the macrocosm. And yoga is systematically refining our individual consciousness state. We bring the unity, yoga, the word unity, not as a belief system or as merely a slogan, or as Sadhviji said, as a hashtag in the times of social media frenzy, but rather a living experience, a systematic technology where unity comes down to our experience as the state of unity instead of boundaries and divisions which dominate the human mind, instead of ego, avidya, and isolation. When unity starts to dominate, naturally that upregulates our immunity, it upregulates humanity, it upregulates our society. As is the world within, so is the world without. When we transform at the fundamental level of our being, our whole actions, our karma get infused with the value of yoga. That is karma yoga, as our Swamiji, Pujya Swamiji, so passionately supports and invites us to engage in. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Yoga sthe kuru karmani, Arjuna. Establish your yoga and then take action. The establishment is in the state of yoga. If we keep acting from divisiveness, from a consciousness state dominated by stress, from an individuality which feels isolated, that stressful consciousness state will only create culture of stress, culture of disease, culture of discrimination. Only when the individual is experiencing a certain level of unity, when the consciousness state of the being is in unity, is in harmony, the action that will arise from there will have the value of unity, will have the value of compassion. Because one cannot believe oneself into compassion. Compassion is not a belief. Kindness is not a belief. Unity is not a belief. So that is why yoga is not merely a belief system. It's a system of technology where one can not just merely stay at the level of thought and slogans and words, but rather dive deep on the level of their own being and come up with the experience. And when the experience of unity comes in our own heart, then it comes within our own authority. Then nobody can take it away from us. No organization, no crisis, no virus can take away that sense of health, that sense of vitality, that sense of unity. So I invite, the yoga has been relevant from timeless. It is the great spiritual and peaceful heritage of humanity. It does not just belong to us in the Himalayas. The great seers, the great sages of our tradition selflessly have offered these teachings to the whole world for the upliftment of humanity. This is not for just one particular group or a cluster. This is the technology of unity, how to really come together and how to increase our communities on the values of peace, harmony, and love. So I thank you, each and every one of you who have gathered here with me. I thank you again, Pujya Swamiji, for your magnificent leadership as always, living through example. Pujya Sadhviji, for your support, for always your presence and your compassion, and all the yoga seers and masters here gathered with me, and all of you who are gathered on the planet. Yogi Bhava Arjuna, Krishna says to Arjuna, be a yogi in this world, live in this world, but simultaneously transcend it. So live, as Swamiji says, live yoga and be yoga. Thank you, everybody. Hari Om Tat Sat from Rishikesh, Himalayas.
Thanks so much, Anandji. And now it's a beautiful joy to ask my beloved brother, Bharat Mitra, the founder and president of Organic India, a business rooted in yoga that truly shows us that you can do well and do yoga at the same time. And also the founder of Uplift, an extraordinarily beautiful organization with whom we are full of such joy to be together in oneness in yoga with. Bharaji.
Beloved Sadhviji, thank you so much. Beloved Pujya Swamiji, and all these beautiful beings of light on my screen. I'm overjoyed to celebrate with you Yoga Day. And once again, Parmarth is calling on all of us to gather together in the heart space in Yoga Day, to contemplate deeply and to be present together in yoga, in union, recognizing the one source that we all are, the one creator, expressing in so many different ways. And yes, yoga, Swamiji said, yoga is the solution for all the problems. In fact, yoga takes all the problems away. It's in the lack, it's in the ignorance where the apparent of problems are there, in delusion of separation. But when we're willing to inquire within ourselves, when we stop for a moment changing the world and turn our awareness within, willing to change ourselves first, establish ourselves in union within ourselves, inevitably all our actions in the world will be in service of unity, of peace, of love. It's not that long ago in time that we all celebrated the International Yoga Festival in Parmarth on the bank of Holy Ganga. And the family that emerged, the heart family that emerged as we recognize each other, as we recognize each other as oneself, and we hear the same call in our heart to participate together, to create a spaciousness in which a true global yoga family, a true global family of love and consciousness is living yoga, living the union of heart that we are. And I'm delighted, I'm grateful to be with all of us. And it's only in March in the International Yoga Festival that we shared a vision, Global Days of Unity, every third weekend of every month for the global family of love to gather together, to be yoga, to be union, to infuse the collective field with frequencies of light and love. And what was only a few months ago a vision, today is an unstoppable wave that is igniting hearts and uniting hearts and allowing us to discover the grace, the field of endless possibilities when we come together as one. I love the message that came so beautifully from Anand, that the Bhagavad Gita is in the battlefield. The world these days is reflecting to us an urgent, truly urgent need to wake up. It's not about fixing the external. It's about waking up, birthing a new consciousness, which is Namaste Yoga. It is Namaste to the unity that we already are. And the courage to meet this reality within our own hearts and to live it fully, courageously, is the call of the hour. There's never been a time on earth which was as urgent for us, for the human race, to wake up within. And I'm very grateful and very honored to be with all of you. It's amazing how we are expanded our ability to connect at the heart space through technology, but it's not technology that brings us together. We use technology, but it's the heart that brings us together. It's yoga that brings us together. And even when the technology doesn't work, it cannot disturb the unbreakable heart connection that we all share. And we're meeting regularly through technology, but we are holding space together from all around the world to bring the vibration, the frequency of yoga, to embrace all those who are now present with the calling of the heart to birth a new paradigm, to birth new consciousness for a new humanity which is in service of the earth, in service of each other, in service of yoga. I love you all. I invite you to join Global Days of Unity, which are happening now, and Unity Week. So many organizations transcends any sense of separation. We are all coming together as one human family, uplift and unify, and Unity Earth, and Four Direction, and Signet, and so many others are all coming together to celebrate our true nature, which is unity, peace, and love. Pranam, pranams, pranams. Thank you, beloved Pujya Swamiji, Sadhvi Ji, Anand, all the beautiful people on my screen, that so many were joining us. This is our time for the family of love and consciousness to shine. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om.
Thank you so much, Bharatji, for such beautiful words and also for highlighting the urgency. It is urgent. And as Anandji and then you referred to the teachings of the Gita as just a moment of inspiration from that with the urgency. For me, one of the corest and most beautiful teachings there is two teachings come into one. One is the teaching that Lord Krishna gives us, in which he says, whenever there is darkness in the world that is winning out over the light. Whenever falsehood is winning out over truth, adharma winning out over dharma, lack of integrity winning out over integrity. Whenever that happens, remember this is Krishna speaking, so I, God, incarnate in form on earth to bring back the light to the darkness, to bring back the truth to the falsehood, to bring back the dharma to the adharma. And then the other teaching, so that's teaching one. The other teaching is the teaching that he says in so many ways, in so many passages, in so many scriptures. I live in all. I live in the heart of every devotee. And when you take those two teachings together, what you're left with is God is within us and has taken birth here in form as us to bring back light to the darkness, to bring back truth to the falsehood, to bring back dharma to the adharma. So yes, it's urgent. And yes, we are, every one of us, that embodiment, that incarnation of the divine, here specifically for that purpose. With that, and actually in a beautiful way that the universe always presents, we will hear next from my beloved sister, Janet Atwood, who is the New York Times best-selling author of The Passion Test. And I mention that especially here because what better passion than to spend your life figuring out how to allow that truth to manifest from us, how to awaken that which is within us. So Janet and her team travel the world, bringing people into the teaching and the experience of finding that unlimited experience within themselves to be the light, to be the solution. So it's wonderful to have you with us this evening, Janet, or morning, wherever you are. And we look so forward to hearing from you.
Oh, thank you, Sadhvi. It's such an honor. And the message that I've been spreading is the same as both of you have been sharing, which is it's really all about time for all of us to know that we're not separate and that we do everything we can to be in union. Yoga means union. Union with what? Union with God. And when I first started traveling all over the world and talking about the Passion Test, it was more about, what can you do that you're passionate about? And as I started to come to the yoga festival and speak there and be with the enlightened and be among so many awakened souls and do my own practices, what I came to find was that living your passions is not about you. Truly, all of us exist. We exist because we're part and parcel of what science calls the unified field. And we are part of this incredible consciousness. And as Sadhvi was saying, we really are one with what? One with God. And so your passions, getting clear on the things that are most important to you, is not personal. It's about getting so quiet and listening inside. Inside to what? Inside to the general manager of the universe that's speaking to you. This is your marching orders. This is your marching orders. This is your marching orders. This is your piece that you are to play in this unified field. It's not about you. It's about the fact that it's a privilege and an honor to be a human and to be able to have a breath every morning, every day, every second. There's this beautiful quote from my master, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi's master, Swami Brahmananda Saraswati. And what he talks about, he says, to get a human body is a rare thing. And if you don't value this, then you have sold a diamond at the price of spinach. And so it's all of our job. It's our job. It's not a luxury. Living your passion is not a luxury. There's a survey that found that 85% of people in the world wake up every morning not happy, not passionate, not loving what they do. No wonder there's so much chaos and disconnection. So our job, and everyone listening, you have to be so conscious. How do I know? Because you're on this call and you were drawn to this call. Your soul drew you to this call to really start to understand that it's not about you. It's about being of service to humanity, because it's not living your passions that makes you happy. But what happens, it's a byproduct as you start to follow the path of passion and say, this is what I love, this is what I care about, this is what matters. And you start to really listen from within and say yes to what is being called forward. Then what you find is eventually you're at the door of your purpose, your destiny, what your role is here on this planet, your give back. It's your give back for the privilege of breath, of being alive. And when you start to give back, that's the path to happy. That's the path to fulfillment. That's when you're overflowing, when you're so full because you're doing that which, you know, there's this saying in my book, what you love and God's will for you is one and the same. What you love and God's will for you is one and the same. What that means is God, nature, higher power, the universe, whatever name you want to put to that energy that's greater than yourself. And when you start to align and download that message from the general manager of the universe and start to have the courage to say yes to those things, that's when life gets totally fulfilling. And imagine this. Imagine if all of us right now, listening on this call today, we were all waking up every day with an attitude of gratitude. We were so grateful. We were so thankful for the lovely life that we're living because we're in service to humanity and there is nothing that feels better. Then think about how our world would be. So we've all heard it starts with one. You know, it starts with us. And that's all we have to do. Just start right now. And in the passion test, the passion test is just one exercise after the other, after the other, after the other to help you to really slow down and stop and listen from within. The very first question that we ask is, and we say, this is what you should, just go within and ask yourself, when my life is ideal, I am. When my life is ideal, I am. We forget to ask ourselves, we're so powerful. And we're either putting our attention on what we choose to create. How many of you have become expert in COVID virus right now? Putting your attention on that instead of being like a yogi that is clear, that is connected, that is putting their attention on what they choose to create, and then giving their gifts to the world. So I really want to thank you, Sadhvi. I want to thank you and Pujya Swamiji for all these years that I've been able to attend the yoga festival. It's I loved it this year so much. I loved it before so much. I'm so honored to be amongst all of the enlightened people there. And it's just so fabulous because it's not just the speakers, it's the people that you're sitting next to on the right and the left. Any one of the people could be up on that stage. They're so awake. So thank you for creating this incredible opportunity for all of us to wake up and know who we are and give our gifts to the world. Thank you for that. Love you.
Love you too. Thank you. It's a joy to ask my beautiful brother, Tommy Rosen, who has taken the science of yoga and channeled it very specifically to help those who are suffering from addiction. And of course, addiction doesn't just mean either horrible alcoholism or heroin or cocaine. Addiction can be Facebook. Addiction can be shopping. Addiction can be sex. Addiction can be anything that distracts us from the present moment, anything that is done not in the spirit of awakening. And so he's taken this beautiful science of yoga and has developed the Recovery 2.0 system to help bring people from whatever it is they're addicted to into the knowing, the experience, the unfolding, the healing of yoga. Tommy, we love you. Thank you.
Pujya Swamiji, so grateful to see you and to be here. Pujya Sadhviji, thank you so much for your example and the example of Parmarth. And to everybody here on this screen, thank you so much. I feel so connected to you even through this digital interface, whether I see you on my screen or not. It has been a surprising side effect of the challenge of this time to recognize that while there is never a substitute for human touch, that we can still connect in this way and make the most of a difficult moment and prepare ourselves for what's to come next. Yoga is about preparing ourselves for this moment now, always for this moment now. And in the practice and the experience of the state of yoga, we find ourselves always in readiness for what presents itself. In my work in the world in terms of addiction, I don't look at human beings as those who are addicted and those who are not addicted. I look at the human condition as a condition that includes addiction whenever there is an untrained mind, an unrefined consciousness. Yoga trains the mind and refines the consciousness. At the beginning of the process, and all of us can relate to this concept, we perceive life and we would say, it's happening to me. Look what's happening to me. And there's, in that statement, there's a sense of separation right there. There's the me that things are happening to, and there's the world around me that's doing it to me. And there's also a sense of resistance in that statement, a tremendous resistance. Energetically, one feels like one is swimming against the tide, swimming upstream, always swimming upstream. And people who are in this state of feeling like life is happening to them are tired and frustrated. And ultimately, if we cannot move beyond that sense, we will always feel like we're swimming upstream, that something's against us. Yoga helps us to move, to transcend that state. And we arrive at this other beautiful way of seeing things. Life is happening for me. This is a gift. I'm getting to learn through all of the challenges of life. I used to believe that those challenges were somebody or something doing it to me. Now I believe that there's a gift here, that in the challenge of my life, there's a treasure. And if I can look at life in such a way that I can try to find the treasure, this beautiful doorway opens for me. And it's the doorway to gratitude. I can begin to develop a sense of gratitude for the joys of my life and also for the challenges of my life. That within those challenges, there is a currency there for me. It is a currency of transformation. And I get to progress forward based upon mining the treasure of my own challenges. And so I've begun to see life as life is happening for me. People who are in this level, this advanced level of yoga, begin to enter this force field of gratitude, one of the most powerful and attractive energies in the universe. Beyond this way of seeing things, in an even more advanced and beautiful way of seeing things, we begin to see that life is happening through us. We began, life was happening to us. Through the refinement of consciousness and awakening, we saw that life was happening for us. Something was to be gained through the challenges of life. And then we advanced to this place of life is happening through us. That indicates a connection to all that is, a connection to the consciousness underlying all things. Some people call that God, the divine, great spirit, higher power. People who are not religious and prefer to refer to themselves as atheist might call it the quantum field. The most important thing is there's a way to look at this consciousness, no matter what your position, that this consciousness is available and speaks to each of us. And at this level of understanding, it operates through each one of us, using our body, using our spirit and our energy, and employing us towards the greater and common good. There's like a sign. These people, you recognize them as being adept at walking through time and space. Stress starts to lessen. They seem to be absolutely present with whatever they're doing. They can manage greater and greater tasks with absolute grace. This is how I feel when I watch Pujya Swamiji navigate time and space. There seems to be a spiritual aikido that he has developed where it could even be 50, 60, 70, 80 tasks all at once right in front of him. And yet you would think he's just simply speaking to one person and handling one task. But it's something much more extraordinary than that. This is when we watch professional athletes, we always say, they make it look easy. Well, of course, we know it isn't easy. It's about development and process and progress through the state and the experience of yoga. These people have a sign on their head, and we can all put this sign on our head facing up to God. And the sign says, open for business. Put me to work. I surrender my effort at your feet. I let go of my petty needs and my petty wants, and I'm open for business, for the greater good. Yoga makes this process of transformation possible, where we feel like life is happening to us. We move into life as happening for us. We enter that force field of gratitude, and then we put the sign out, I'm open for business. Put me to work. I'll show up. I'll do it. Thank you so much for all these years to each of you for setting such a high bar so that we can aspire to this state of being where we are open for business and can serve the whole. I love you. Namaste. Congratulations to all of us on being in this moment together. It bodes very well for the future. Love you so, so much. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Ma Gange, Satnam, and love.
Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gange, Satnam. We love you too. Thank you so much, Tommy. And yes, it is so extraordinarily beautiful to be together. Thank you. It's a beautiful joy to introduce Ira Trivedi, who is part of our Parmarth Niketan family from many, many years. And she was supposed to be with us at Yoga Festival this year. Unfortunately, wasn't able to be with us physically, but is definitely still part of the Yoga Festival family. She is a best-selling author, Yogacharyas. She's authored 8 books, nonfiction, fiction, children's books. She has 2 yoga shows on Indian television. She's won numerous awards, both in India as well as internationally, for her work, for her yoga, for her writing. So it's a wonderful joy to ask Ira to share with us on this beautiful eve of International Yoga Day.
Virtual Transpar Sadhvi Ji, Swami Ji. It's such a blessing to be connected virtually, and to everyone else as well. It's so lovely to meet you. And I must say that this experience is kind of almost as good as being together. I feel like I'm at the feet of Pujya Swami Ji in the ashram. You know, I do feel that right now. It has a very similar vibe to it. Thank you. It's so wonderful to meet all of you and to hear your beautiful words. You know, I thought I would share a little bit about my personal journey with yoga, and also about why I feel that the work that Bharat Mitra has done has been simply incredible, especially with the International Day of Yoga and the Yoga Festival. For many, many, many years, especially in India, yoga, a physical practice of asana, I think was looked upon as a degraded form of yoga. You know, it was somehow thought about that, oh, you know, you have Naga Babas hanging around, and that's what physical yoga is. But I feel what Bharat Mitra has really done, especially with the International Yoga Festival, has shown us that a physical asana practice is very important, you know, and it can be a vehicle for spiritual growth. And I can say it from my own personal life that this has been the case. You know, when you do an asana practice, it's not just about getting physically in shape, though it also gives you that. I just feel that if you don't have a healthy body, you know, if you don't have a healthy body, And if you don't feel good in your body, how can you feel good in your mind? If you're suffering from all sorts of problems, backache, spinal problems, bloating, constipation, more problematic things like diabetes, cholesterol, etc., it's very difficult to feel good in your mind. So an asana practice can be such a beautiful way for people to begin a spiritual journey. And what the International Yoga Festival has done by putting an asana practice really, not in the center, I would say, but really sort of talking about the benefits of it, bringing world-class teachers together, has brought that asana to the fore, especially in India, where I feel that for a long time, an asana practice was looked upon as really a degraded form of spirituality. But for so many people, including myself, an asana practice is a first step to a spiritual experience, to a spiritual journey. Because what is an asana practice teaching you? It connects your body to your breath and to your mind. And once these three things get connected, if you can just begin to move with your breath, it's just that your mind will function in such a more clear way. Your decision making will be better. You'll feel so much better. Your thinking will be so much more positive. So just establishing that mind, body, breath connection it's seemingly so easy, but it's not. For so many people around the world, this very basic step doesn't happen. And before we can move into a meditation practice and before we can move into anything more than that, if we just aren't feeling good in our bodies, then how can we feel good in our mind? It'll be like a thorn always that something is wrong with my body. So just by beginning an asana practice, you can get rid of bad habits like smoking, like bad eating habits. By doing an asana practice, automatically the body becomes aligned to eat better and to follow a yogic lifestyle. That's been my personal experience with an asana practice. And I feel that tomorrow's International Yoga Day, and there is a lot of focus on asana, and I think this is such a beautiful thing that India has done and the world has done to put an asana practice in the fore. And I do feel that Indian youth in particular were losing that touch. They were thinking that, oh, yoga is for my grandparents, yoga is for senior citizens, yoga is for those people who, have problems. But now they're beginning to look at yoga and say, no, this is kind of cool. Yoga is good for me. If I begin doing yoga instead of going to the gym, or if I begin doing yoga instead of, something else, then this can actually be good for me. It's also good for my mind. It's also good for my breath. It's good in so many different ways. So I do think that bringing the Indian youth in particular into yoga is so important, and the Parmarth Niketan ashram has been so instrumental in doing that by teaching young Indians that come to yoga, come back to a physical practice of asana, because this can be the beginning of a journey. And that's where whenever I'm speaking anywhere, I like to talk about that point, that in asana practice, I came to an asana practice because I wanted to lose weight. I'm not going to lie to anyone. It was many years ago, but I said, I don't look like that. I don't know. I think it was Madonna or someone, or Christy Turlington. I said, oh, I think I'd like that body. I want a yoga body. But what happened was so different than that. In the practice of yoga, I actually got the body that I wanted. But by the time I got it, I'd forgotten about that goal. That goal wasn't important. It happened anyways. But so many other beautiful things happened to me, along the yogic journey. And even today, because it's such a, it's the first sheath. It's the first kosha, our physical body, right? So even now, when in a very troubled time whenever something is happening which is troubling me, a meditation practice will not work. The mind is too troubled. The breath is too ragged. But an asana practice brings you back. It's like a tool. It's a real physical tool that can get you away from so many stresses. And I do think, especially in this time with COVID-19, in our homes, in our lives, there is no better time to start a yoga practice for anyone around the world. You don't need to leave your house. All you need is a yoga mat. It's good for your respiratory system. It's amazing for your immune system. Yes, all exercise is good. But exercise is like a general practitioner, whereas yoga is like a surgeon. You know, it's like a real specialized surgeon who can do so many good things with your heart and your immune system, like a specialist of these things. So why would you go to a GP when you have a specialist that you can go to for these problems? So I do think that this is such a good time to start a physical asana practice for everyone, you know, and even if it's 5 minutes of pranayama a day, 3 rounds of sun salutations a day, if we just integrate these very nice practices in our life, we will all be so much better for it. You know, all of us will be healthier, our systems will be better. So I really make a plea to everyone, you know, who's watching this, let's start a pranayama practice tomorrow itself, if not tonight, you know, because this will help you. And it's very easy. And I think that this is what also Parmarth Niketan has done in such a beautiful way with the International Yoga Fest. You know, said, do asana, let's all come together. We'll bring the best teachers around the country and around India and present them to you. This is what a great physical practice can look like. So this is sort of my plea to everyone for tomorrow, that begin that asana practice, 4 or 5 minutes, begin that pranayama practice. And I'm sure if Pujya Swamiji sends his blessings and, you know, supports the plea, then people will do it. People will do it. Thank you, everyone. Virtual Charan Spars. It's been such an honor and a blessing to be here. And thank you for taking the time to listen to my words. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ira. And before we go on to our next speaker, we have a short, sacred, experiential interlude in which our beloved and respected Sadhvi Abha Saraswati Mataji will lead us in the chanting of sacred mantras and bring us back to the breath, back to the heart, back into the self.
Namaste. Let's close our eyes and meditate for some time. Omkar bindu sanyuktam nityam dhyayanti yoginaha kamadam mokshadam chaiva. Omkaraya namo namaha. Namami Shamishan Nirvana Rupam Vibhum Vyapakam Brahma Veda Swarupam Nijam Nirgunam Nirvikalpam Niriham Chidakasha Vasam Bhajeham Nirakar Mokar Moolam Turiyam Giragyan Gotit Misham Girisham Karalam Mahakalakalam Kripalam Gunagar Sansar Param Natoham Tusharadri Sankash Gauram Gambhiram Manobhut Koti Prabhashri Shariram Spuran Maulikallolini Charuganga Lasadbhal Balendu Kanthe Bhujanga Chalat Kundalam Prusunetram Vishalam प्रसन्नाननं नीलकण्ठं दयालं मृगाधीश चर्माम्बरं मुण्डमालम् प्रियं शङ्करं सर्वनाथं भजामि प्रचण्डं प्रकृष्टं प्रगल्भं परेशम् अखण्डम् अजं भानुकोटिप्रकाशम् त्रयशूलनिर्मूलनं शूलपाणिम् भजेऽहं भवानी पतिं भावगम्यम् कलातीतकल्याण कल्पान्तकारी सदा सच्चिदानन्द दाता पुरारी चिदानन्द सन्दोह मोहापहारी प्रसीद प्रसीद प्रभो मन्मथारी न यावत् उमानाथ पादारविन्दम् भजन्ति खलोके परेवा नराणाम् न तावत् सुखं शान्ति संतापनाशम् प्रसीद प्रभो सर्व भूताधिवासम् न जानामि योगं जपं नैव पूजां न तोऽहं सदा सर्वदा शम्भुतुभ्यं जराजन्म दुःखौघ तातप्यमानम् प्रभो पाहि आपन्नमामीश शम्भो प्रभो पाहि आपन्नमामीश शम्भो प्रभो पाहि आपन्नमामीश शम्भो करचरणजं वाक् कायजं कर्मजं वा श्रवणनयनजं वा मानसं वा पराधं विहितमविहितं वा सर्वमेतत् क्षमस्व जय जय करुणाब्धे श्री महादेव शंभो श्री महादेव शंभो श्री महादेव शंभो
Thank you, Mataji. Now, it's a beautiful joy to ask my brother Saul David Raye, who's a Yogacharya, a musician, a healer, an activist. For the last 25 years, he's been practicing and teaching so many different aspects of yoga. Not so many different styles of asana, but so many different aspects of yoga, from Hatha Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Tantric Yoga, to Thai systems of healing and yoga. He's also a beautiful musician and dedicated truly to activism, to bringing oneness into action. Saul, we are so happy to have you with us.
Namaste, good morning. I hope you all can hear me. I'm so honored to be here, and what a joy it's morning where I am, and to wake up and tune into this stream of yoga, this transmission from the banks of Mother Ganga. And I'm so grateful to Pujya Swamiji, Sadhviji, and the whole family at Parmarth, this incredible place where we gather for the International Yoga Festival. People from over 90 countries coming together in the spirit of peace, in the light of love. And it's such an incredible time to remind us all the power of yoga. And if ever there is a time when our planet needs the light of yoga, it is now. And there are so many energies, it feels like, so many things that are revealing themselves as our planet is healing, as people are awakening. And it can be easy to get caught in those confusing energies. So now, with even more of our sankalpa, our intention, to come together as a family and to be strengthened to embody these practices that many of us have been sharing and practicing for years, but to come together in the container of yoga. So I'd love to just share a few moments of meditation together. And in the spirit of peace, whatever path you're following, whatever brought you here in this moment, there are souls all over the earth right now who are feeling that call for peace from all walks of life, all places. And as one great family of peace, if we can all just spend a little time each day holding that vision of peace, seeing Mother Earth surrounded in light, and each praying in our own mother tongue, our own way, anchoring that peace within our own being. And as a family to support each other in these challenging times. So please, in your own way, just focus deep within your heart center. Connect your pran, your breath, right into the center of the heart. And if you feel comfortable folding your hands at your heart, and let us make a deep prayer for each other. A deep prayer for the welfare of all beings right now. The animals, the plants, all beings that we share the web of life with. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The world is one family. Yoga brings us together. I send my love and blessings to all my family, all my relations. I send my love and blessings to Mother Bhumi, Pachamama, Gaia. Thank you for all you give every day: food, shelter, beauty. I send my love and prayers to all of the leaders. May that divine spark in them be awakened. May they lead with love. May they feel the great responsibility entrusted with them. And with great intensity, with the fire of your spirit, call forth your highest vision, highest intention. And let us all be together for a few moments just in the energy and the feeling of holding this prayer together as a family for all of the earth, for all people. Please chant any prayer, any mantra to yourself, or be in silence, whatever feels appropriate in this moment. Divine Father, Divine Mother, Source of infinite love, Source of being, hear our prayers, hear the prayers from the hearts of all the people for peace. May the Divine bless the earth, every atom of creation. Sundaraya Vidmahe Bhutadatraya Dhimahi Tanno Bhumi Prachodayat. We meditate on She who is the Mother, She who gives all, She who nourishes all. May she teach us to live in abundance and peace. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Bhur Suvaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Yo yo na prachodayat. We meditate on the one energy, the one light that pervades all of creation, the earth, the atmosphere, and the heavens. May this supreme light illuminate the mind and the heart. May it inspire peace in the hearts of all. Please join me to just chant Om and Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti. Shalom, Salam, Amen. Harihi Om.
Thank you, Saul. Om Shalom, Salam, Amen. It's a joy to ask my sister Laura Plumb. She's the founder and the director of Veda Wise, a organization bringing the wisdom of the Vedas, particularly Ayurveda, but not exclusively Ayurveda, to people all over the world. She's a Yogacharya, she's a Jyotish, she's the best-selling author of the Ayurvedic cookbook. Truly a beautiful woman, dear friend, one who embodies and teaches the tapestry of all of the threads of yogic wisdom, yogic traditions, yogic teachings. Laura, we are so, so happy you could join us this evening.
Thank you. Thank you, dear Sadhviji. Pranams, Swamiji. Thank you to, and namaste to our Yogacharyas and yoga musician artists. Thank you for inviting all of us here. Thank you for reuniting our yoga family. Jai Gange and Jai Shri Krishna. It's been so beautiful. While it's evening where you are, it's early morning here, not so much now. But on this day of the summer solstice, I've been with you as the sun rises. We began while it was early pre-dawn here, and now the sun is in the sky. The sun's so strong and so bright, reminding us on this day, of course, that the International Yoga Day was deliberately selected to be on the day of the solstice, reminding us that yoga helps us to rise in the light, to lay down our mat in the early morning, the early hours, facing the east, and practicing our Surya Namaskar as the sun rises. And in that practice and in that moment, feeling ourselves alive with the rhythms of nature, alive with the beauty and the bounty of nature, alive in a world that is radiant and intelligent and abundant, mighty and majestic. And it's a practice that reminds us not only that we are the light rising, but that we too can rise, that we too are nature and that we are supported by nature. It reminds us that nature does not hoard. It reminds us that there is enough for everyone, that there is enough food, there is enough beauty, there is enough herbs and herbal medicine, there is enough love, there is enough compassion, there is enough justice. Yoga invites us even to a gentle revolution. Where we move from the ideologies of a dominant culture that will strip us from life, from land, from earth, from, as Saul said, Mata Bhumi, and restore us to our own true nature, which is to be one with nature, to be one with the rising sun, to be one in the heart, where we are that Vasudev Kutumbakam. We are one family of all living beings. When I think of today, this International Yoga Day, in the midst of COVID and in the midst of civil unrest in my country, I think of what Gandhi said when he said, "Be the change." But not only did he invite us to do our own work, our own spiritual practice, he didn't then just sit on his mat, on his cot. Gandhi was active. Gandhi went on hunger strike. Gandhi collected his brothers and sisters, and he brought freedom to his people. We are invited to be the change. We are invited to find the yoga so that we can live yoga. What we do on the mat is a practice for what we do in our life. This is a time when we can say there's a health crisis, or we can say that there's civil unrest. What this is an opportunity for us to create the world in the image and likeness of our Creator, who has brought us alive to live in love and to live in freedom. When our Shri Prahlad Singh Patel spoke, and he spoke in Hindi, and I don't speak Hindi, but I heard him say repeatedly, Yukti Mukti, Yukti Mukti. And I thought, that is a beautiful mantra. Yukti Mukti. Let us yoke freedom, and let us bring freedom, liberty, and justice to all beings everywhere. First, by finding it within. And then, going back to what Anand said, when we think of the Bhagavad Gita, and Krishna also asks Arjuna to rise, to stand in your yoga. There's a term, yoga off the mat. But that implies that there's a separation, yoga on the mat, and then everything else. What if yoga is everything we do all the time? How we meet the world. Standing open, with a heart that doesn't need to close, doesn't need to say no, doesn't need to feel separate, but a heart that can be open in the midst of it all. Standing for our values, always and everywhere we go. I am truly honored to have been graced by a divine teacher and guru such as Swamiji, to have a divine sister younger in years but more mature in spiritual wisdom as Sadhviji. Hearing Mataji sing, I realize Mataji's voice is with me everywhere. If I ever have a moment of forgetting who I am and that nature is here everywhere supporting us, I hear Mataji singing along the banks of the river, and I feel home again. I feel so lucky to have this divine family. All of the Yogacharyas here, Sivamani, your wife, your family, and also all who are in the background, I know, making this happen. Thank you for helping us advance our yoga so that we can become whole and we can help make the world whole. To all of you, I say thank you and namaste.
Thank you, Laura. So happy to have you with us. And so happy to have my beautiful and beloved sister, Kia Miller, a a beautiful embodiment of the grace, the love, the presence of yoga. She's the founder of Radiant Body Yoga. But it's not about just how to make this physical body radiant through yoga. It's how through yoga to touch, to access, to awaken and unfold the radiant body of ourselves. How to access and live in that aspect of us, that body of us, of radiance, of light, of divinity. It's so beautiful, Kia, to have you with us tonight, to have you and Tommy as such pillars of our International Yoga Festival family. And we turn to you for your radiance and your wisdom on our International Yoga Day Eve.
Thank you, Sadhvi. Blessed Pujya Swamiji, thank you so much. Thank you to everybody who is here, everybody who has spoken. I've been feeling just so many waves of energy flowing through as I connect with your hearts and feel that reverberation through the unified field as we connect in this way. It's truly extraordinary that we get to connect in this way, and that the space-time is different. We're not limited by it. We're actually able to all be here in such an intimate way